Hello, this is the ASMRMedic. I hope you're well. As you can see, we're in the forge, the furnace and forge area. I've just finished smelting up some iron for the first time. I got to the requisite mining level a little while ago, but I just recently finished smelting and smithing all the bronze up that I needed to, and I've got my first set of iron bars. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these bars for actually something quite helpful. So rather than actually, I just took that out by accident. That's going to be making an iron fill home. That's not what I want. We'll make this up. This will help us get our levels up a little bit easier now, without having to use bronze, or at least get XP easier, shall I say. Obviously, the distance between levels increases the higher level you get to. Let's just heat that back up. Oh, we've got a little event mystery box. Should we open that up? Yeah, got that. Oh, it's more of these. See, I'm not actually a massive fan of using those, but they're there, I suppose, aren't they? So you kind of have to use them. Let's just finish this iron full helm, and I'll tell you what I really want to use my iron for, or at least a little bit of it for. Level 11 already, that's good. So I want to choose the iron hatchet, and I want to use the iron hatchet so that I can cut down oak a little bit easier, because with a bronze hatchet it's an absolute pain. It's really difficult. It takes an age to do. I'm at level 16 wood cutting. It's actually my highest level. Didn't realise that. So now we have an iron hatchet, and I can. Oh, I need to be level 10 to wield it. Oh no, I can put it into my tool belt. Oof, that was a close call, wasn't it? So I'm fairly certain we can just go up to a tree now and cut that down much easier. I might use some of these lamps on. Let's find an oak tree. There's one over here, isn't there? I'm fairly certain that I can just. Well, can I use one of these on? Let's use it on fletching. What do we get? You get 206 XP. How much do these things give you if you put these on them? 400. Oh, it's like a bonus. Okay, let's use this. I mean, it's part of the game, isn't it? So you get it as a reward for skilling. So let's use it when we get them. There's no reason to not use them. So we'll chop this down. Wow, that gets us a lot more XP every swing. Oh, look how much quicker this is. Wow, this is so much better now. Using the bronze hatchet was a real drag. It took us absolutely ages to get any logs. I think I was probably getting at a rate about a fifth of this rate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oak logs so far, and at this point I probably only had 1 or 2 in this amount of time. We'll probably get a full inventory relatively quickly at this rate, actually. You get a heat cap of iron raised by oh, that's good. By 50 points rather than 50%, I expect. We've leveled that up as well. I think the amount of wood cutting that we're doing is sort of leading us to go up and up and up. Steel is actually, it's a good point. Steel is the next level. I can already use a steel hatchet. I can use a black hatchet as well, given my level. So if I go on to smithing, I'm not sure when I can start using steel. Level 20. So not too far away, but I would need to do quite a bit more. And Mithril is level 30. Is that suggesting that Mithril is level 30 now on mining as well? Surely not. I remember it being something. I remember it being a really high level, like 50 or 60. Where is it? Mithril level 30. So this is obviously part of. Oh, it actually tells you where you can mine all these things. I was mining all of my mithril, all of my iron at the mine just south of Varrock. So I would teleport there by lodestone and then come back to Lumbridge. I guess I could start doing more of my work, my leveling in Varrock, because I could just do that and then I could go to the forge and furnace in West Varrock. There's a bank there as well, right next to it. But I quite like the area we're in at the moment. It's very picturesque. Obviously it's all medieval and it all looks very picturesque and stuff, but there's something about Lumbridge it's a lot quieter, it's a lot less built up. I really like the aesthetic quite a lot. In Varrock it's slightly more built up, I suppose. It's slightly more, it's not modernised at all, but you know what I mean. There's proper paved roads and everything, and I quite like being around here at the moment. Okay, so we've almost got change of song. I'm just gonna take this off. It's quite an annoying song. Okay, so we've got ourselves a full inventory. We can't actually fletch these. So you can actually fletch a higher level log into more iron shafts. So normal logs give you let's put all these in. Where's that gone? Oh, we already have 5. Normal logs, if you fletch them into, let's just put them in here for now because that's what we're going to be using them for. Let's just do a few more. If you fletch normal logs into arrow shafts, you get 15, and I thought that was the only type of log that could give you arrow shafts, or at least I thought you could use other ones too, but you would get the same amount of arrow shafts because it's just arrow. I mean, there's no special, you don't get oak arrow shafts or yew arrow shafts or anything, but this one, it shows you that yes, you do still get the same type of arrow shaft, but it's you get more of them. So for oak logs you get 5 more, which it actually makes which it doesn't really make sense, I suppose, but it's actually a lot better because normal logs are 300 GP each, whereas oak logs are 120, I think, the last time I looked, which might seem to not make much sense, but presumably that's because normal logs get cut down at a slower rate, because every time you cut down a normal log tree, it cuts the entire tree down. It fells the tree, so you only get 1 stack of logs per tree, whereas I can, as you can see, I've not even clicked in anything in a while. This is much more AFK. I can just stand here and chop away at this tree. Eventually it will cut it down. Sometimes that it can be after 3 stacks of logs. Sometimes it will be, as you can see, I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13 logs, and this tree hasn't been felled yet. So it shows you that I can get far more logs at a much quicker rate. Astoundingly quicker rate than this one, because that's why it was actually a little bit harder, I would say, to level up in terms of click intensity with normal logs leveling up to level 15, so I could actually cut down oak logs. Just gonna do a bit of this now. So we actually have, I'm just gonna do it with the iron plate bodies. Yeah, it's much more click intensive with normal logs, because you cut one down, you need to run to another one, you need to run to the next one and run around and around and around, which is fine. It just takes longer. If you're cutting down oak trees. So now I do kind of understand why there is a large price differential between what you would assume wouldn't exist because one's a higher level than the other. But I guess, generally speaking, considering that the majority of where the money is in the game is with much, much higher level players, it makes sense that the level difference between normal logs and oak logs wouldn't affect the economy of them, because everyone can cut down oak logs, and everyone can cut them down so efficiently because everyone's such a high, well, most people are at a high level, that the difference between oak logs and logs in terms of the speed of cutting them down is pretty negligible. It's almost instantaneous for most people, I would expect. So the thing that makes the difference is how long you can kind of AFK it, how quickly you can do these things. So it makes sense to me now. Got another mystery box actually. A small dungeoneering token box. Ooh, 10 tokens. I don't know if I can do dungeoneering. I don't think I can, but I'm fairly certain that's it. Oh, it doesn't say it's a member skill. So some of them actually have member skill, which I guess means it's fundamentally a member skill. But fletching seems to have been taken off that list now, which I'm really glad about. Herblore is 100% a member skill. I can make... Oh, you can still make some potions. You can make a magic potion, a ranging potion. That seems about it. But they're still quite useful. We can still kind of make use of that, I suppose. So let's make another one. Get 200 XP per one of these. So I should, because I have 2 more iron bars left in there after this, which would equate to, let my brain work, if it's 40 XP per bar essentially, yeah, I should definitely be leveling up to 13 before we move away from the forge. So I'm level 19 in woodcutting now. Is level 20 got anything in particular? Not that I can tell, nothing that is non-members at least. Woodcutting. So level 20, medium jungle, which obviously I can't cut down anyway because I'm not a member. Blood spindle tree, which apparently, I mean, these things sound like they're members items, but apparently not. See, this involves a lot more heating and getting a large phoenix lamp. Let's actually get this on. I'm gonna put it on. I'll put this one on fletching. What do we get from this one? Oh right, it's not a log. Oh, it's a member's item. Of course. No worries. Just heat them back up. There, I was reading this. I was thinking I've got that. I thought that this was something from here. Okay, so we had. Oh, we only have 1 more. We should still level up though, I think. I'll go make that 1. Iron armored boots. Iron gauntlet. What's worth more? Neither are worth anything really. What does this mean? It's up and down arrow. I'm gonna go with the lower one. Hopefully that means it involves less time to hammer it out. Maybe that means back and forth between the forge. I have no idea. Could ask someone, but frankly I can't be bothered. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying myself playing here. It's really good fun. There's just something outstandingly relaxing about it. It's hard to explain really. Let's just pop that in there. We've got a few gems as well from oh, I can't even deposit it. Okay, well I'll have to drop it then. Okay, so let's pop these in here. So I'm not actually sure how much this is worth because it'll pretty good. I mean, I'm constantly aware that I've actually got 1.5 million, which kind of, for me, it kind of ruins it. So I'd like to be able to give that away to someone. I was thinking, I'm actually going to, we can, you know, I'm gonna chat with you for a little bit longer. Maybe do some fletching in the meantime. Let's go. We have to go get some normal logs. Let's drop this lamp. Yeah, that 1.5 million. I mean, every time that I earn my money that I've actually earned, you know, I get 45k from all this stuff, and that's a nice little byproduct for me leveling up. But then I think, well, it's not really that much, is it? Because I'm worth 1.5 million, so it's really a drop in the ocean against that. I did thank the guy very much for the money, but I did start thinking, well, it's quite useful to have that money, because if I want to get members and I don't want to have to pay for it with real money eventually, I can put this money towards buying a bond, and the bonds are what you use to become a member. You can buy the bonds several ways. I think you can buy them with real money. I think one bond equals 2 weeks for 14 days of membership, and that's the main way I think that most people do it. But if you've got a lot of money, I suppose, so if you can afford it, you can actually buy it with real in-game cash, in-game cash. Maybe I think that's a kind of initiative to get people to play more and more, because there are lots of other ways that you can spend money in this game. There's a good number of microtransactions, which I know a lot of people aren't very happy about, but they are in the game. So I guess if you're a member and you're committing a lot of time to the game, you're probably more inclined to pay for microtransactions, which, you know, I expect you could probably spend a lot more money than £3.99 on one bond for 2 weeks of membership on these in-game transactions. So I understand that why, and then it's also a good money sink as well, because I think it costs about 20 million to buy a bond with in-game cash. There's a lot of money. Definitely a way of kind of reducing the large amount of actual coinage that exists in the game, because I know that can damage a lot of in-game economies. So we're about 2/3 of a thing here. Let's do some let's make, oh, we can make shield bows now. Let's make those. Level up already, nice. I guess these are the equivalent of the longbows. So they provide a little bit of extra protection. I think I read that a shield bow is slightly slower in terms of draw and shooting, but you get 33% increased defense or reduced damage or something. It was definitely 33% though. It's so useful. It depends on what you value most. Do you value or do you need most, I suppose? Do you need attack or do you need defense the most? So I think I'm going to get this full inventory. I'm going to fletch these up into more shield bows, and I'm going to continue doing this until I get to near enough level 20 fletching, when I'll come back and we can celebrate the milestone together, and then we can start making our oak bow. which is exciting. So I'll see you in a bit. Oh, do you know? Let's fletch these up first. I did that last time as well. I said what I was going to do and then immediately left. I love the sounds of these two. Really good sound effects in this game. What level are we? Oh, so we did level up. Oh, I didn't even realise we can make iron arrows. I'm so silly. I should have used the iron that we got to make iron arrowheads. Oh, that's silly. Okay, well we have to go mine a bit more iron then. No problem. Okay, well that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I think first I'm gonna carry on fletching, and then I'll go get some iron, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've made a significant amount of progress over the last probably about 2 hours I've been playing. I'm by the chickens now, as you can see. I've collected about 700 feathers, which has taken me up to level 17 range. I've also got to 25 wood cutting, which means I can cut up to. No, there's been no progress there. I think I can use a mithril hatchet when I get there. I can. The main thing for me though is being able to use the steel hatchet, which is well within my abilities to make, because I'm now 24 smithing, which means that I can smelt iron very quickly, and I can utilise it very quickly. But I'm level 20, which means I can smelt and smith steel, which is great. That's very useful. And mining, obviously, I could make steel. That was never a problem in terms of mining, because all you have to do is be able to mine coal, and I think that's level 25 as well. I don't actually, it's 20, level 20. I can also do silver. I can use a steel pickaxe now, and I'm very close, well, 4 levels away from mining mithril ore, which is, for me, is actually very, very exciting, because, let me just make sure I'm recording. Yep, that's very exciting because it takes usually a really long time, or used to take a really long time before the updates. Now that the smithing and mining has been reworked, everything seems to be more in line. So mithril is very attainable. So I've started recording now because I am sorry about that. A door just slammed, so I have to cut that bit out. I would say I've just started recording now because I've got up to level 19 fletching. I'm just about to cross over to level 20. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to craft up these into a few more arrow shafts, and I should be just about to get level 20, which is significant because this is what we've been working towards. One more. these do. So, oh, there you go. So the damage it comes to, does that increase it up there? So I would say, how does that work then? Does that mean that overall it adds up the damage from the arrows and the bow? Because the accuracy of the bow is much lower. So maybe if I go like this, maybe they add up, or does it kind of equal out at? I don't know how it works, but I prefer the fact that I have more accuracy either way. So let's see how we do with these. Let's try it on him because they're a little bit annoying to. Wow, it one hit it. I'm not just saying this for the some grimy guam. I'm not just saying this for the sake of it, but that is really good. That's really good. Let's try again. Maybe that's just a bit of a fluke. Let's try that. This one. Oh, he killed it. Oh, he's gone over there. Let's try one more. Let's try this special move. I have to say this is much better. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this is actually worth it. You know, like I feel like I've been working quite hard to get to this point. Maybe it's worth going, and I might try and just earn a little bit of money. I have 1.5 million, but let me just go to my bank and I'll show you kind of the progress that we've made. This is the point that I wanted to get to for this episode though, so I'm happy about that. In the bank chest, what we have. Let's put all this stuff away. Let's put that back in the fletching tab. Let's put these all in this one. Put this away. Put that just there, whatever. Put that there. Put these logs away. We'll put that in the general tab, I guess. Arrowheads here. I don't know what, I might just sell these, but these are worth quite a little bit. So I just want to see vaguely. Just put. I just want to put these so that I don't have to reorganize everything every time. So just get a general idea of how much we're worth, because like I make these +1 things as well, and I made a lot of these +1 iron pickaxes, which I think are worth quite a bit actually. So just to get a general idea of what we're worth, and how much I've made, that comes to 124k, which I'm really happy about. So we can add that to our bank. I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the money. It might be helpful for quests maybe.